Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Looney Tunes for the Game Boy. In the last episode, we had that super brief boss battle with Wile E. Coyote as the Roadrunner, and all I can say about that battle is that I made it look a lot easier than it was. And yes, that was all legit, by the way. You just had to be really crackerjack on the timing to get a Wile E. battle that is as good as mine was. Because that took a lot of practice and refiguring stuff out to pull off. Anyway, we are now playing as Bugs Bunny in the 7th and final stage of the game, which takes place in a similar setting to Speedy Gonzalez's stage. Bugs Bunny plays much like Daffy Duck from the very beginning of the game. You throw the discus with B, you jump with A, left and right move around, down ducks. But Bugs moves a lot faster. It's like he's running all the time. And that can be a pain sometimes. However, if you are running and you throw the discus while you're running, the discus moves further, which can help you with a couple of enemies. And we'll be tearing the enemies apart here. They're basically the same as Stage 5. So without further ado, I'm going to unpause the game and get this thing on the road. And I just off-screened one of the frogs. And I'm going to kill a ghost, and then I'm going to kill another ghost. And yeah, you can duck with Bugs with down on the D-pad, though it doesn't seem like it does much. And here, we got to watch out because we got to jump to avoid getting hit in the feet by the spikes. If you need to use the ghost to do so, by all means do it. Because the ghost will not only allow you to get the 1-up, but also help you avoid getting hit while getting past the spikes. And it's a good thing I can duck down and throw the disc, because that allows me to hit the mummy. After having the worst possible time of hitting the mummies as Speedy Gonzalez, I can finally hit them really well as Bugs. Now, in this part, the cracked blocks break apart when you walk on them. But the little regal-looking blocks, the ones that aren't above a bottomless pit, those things cause spears to drop down on you if you touch any of those tiles. So we're going to have to be careful here. Ow. And that's not exactly what I wanted. What I was trying to do with that one ghost that damaged me was I was trying to get up to the ceiling in the upper left. You can get on the ceiling by bouncing on that ghost, and then you can run across the ceiling. That didn't go as planned, as you can see. Also, I would really love it if Bugs would not do that. Also, these blocks respawn. Who knew? And now we have a mini boss rush. Yosemite Sam. Just throw the discus at him 3 times. And then there's this guy. Apparently, you can jump on him, and you can also throw the discus at him. If you have the discus flying around you, this boss battle's a little easier. Takes about 5 hits. Now, we have the mummy again. We can just throw the discus at him, and we can also jump on him because we no longer have the spike ceiling above us. And that'll give us an easy hit. Whenever you beat one of these bosses, you're going to be able to restore one of your hit points, which is great. And we also have this guy again from the Speedy Gonzalez stage. And if this guy... Perfect. Yeah, he's a little easier to deal with, but not by much. And you also have Marvin the Martian here, too. Thankfully, he only shot me once. He takes 5 discus hits to kill. And now for this guy. You want to jump over him, throw the discus at him. When he rushes at you with the boulder, you better be ready to jump over him. For best results, use the running discus throw. And yes, you can jump off the boulder. Makes it a little easier to hit him. And sometimes you can hit him while he's still got the boulder. Okay, he's gone back to normal speed. And if you know what you're doing and you're just able to time it right, you can throw the discus and you can hit him in the back while he's still carrying the boulder, which is kind of cool. And sometimes you can just have it go straight through the guy too. And there we go. We just took care of that guy. And we now have 6 lives. There was some health there and here. And now we kind of have to go left and right, and we got to be very careful and very quick, otherwise that boulder's going to kill us. Go right. There we go. Take care of the ghosts. I hit him on the back. Excellent. And now there's this guy. This guy you have to hit in the back too, if you can get him to show up. And if we can just avoid the guy entirely, we can do ourselves a great big favor. Okay. You can defeat that guy with the discus, if you know what you're doing. But I might as well just go ahead and avoid him because he just got away from me. And now to hit... well, thanks. To hit this guy and get 2 hits back in case we really need them. And once we go through here... final boss time against Elmer Fudd. Yeah, this is the last guy that you defeat in the game. Don't ask me why he is. He just is. You just kind of have to be on top of him. I made that boss battle look a lot easier than it was. Your best bet for defeating Elmer Fudd is to just keep jumping on him. Just keep bugs on top of Elmer at all times. If you need to, throw a discus at him in case you hit the ground. Get him a little further away. He fires at regular intervals, and he always fires the 3-way shot. And you just got to be pretty bold and a little lucky to beat Elmer Fudd. But he is beatable. And once you beat Elmer, that carrot drops down. I'm guessing Bugs Bunny was looking for that. You grab that, you beat the game. We just beat Looney Tunes for Game Boy. I'm surprised I did not die once this whole time. That was insane. And from here, we get the credits. We've completed 7 stories with 7 characters across 7 stages. And we get to do, or we get to see the game do some pretty weird stuff. We get to see some skilled play here in the credits. And we get to see what our final stats was, our final score, our final number of lives, what have you. And we got to get to see all of the Looney Tunes characters that we played as along the way. I still cannot stand Speedy's stage, by the way. At least the boss is easier than the stage. And Roadrunner was also a bit of a hard spot, too. Okay, so maybe not all of that was super play material, but you do get to see the characters just mess around and whatnot. And then you get to see everybody who had appeared in the game, plus a few people who didn't. I have no idea why Foghorn Leghorn and Porky Pig are here. Not Porky Pig. Porky Pig was in the game. Foghorn Leghorn was not. Pepe Le Pew wasn't either. I don't know why he and Foghorn Leghorn are here and not in the game. If I remember correctly, I think Foghorn Leghorn was supposed to be in the game, but he isn't for some reason. And then he's supposed to be in Bug Stage. I'll have to look on the cutting room floor to see if that's true. And I will link to that in the description. You may even mention whether or not he was supposed to be in the game in the video. I may have him confused with somebody else. But, yeah, we get the credits here. We get to see just basically everyone who was in the game. Apparently, Elmer Fudd is peeved that we beat him, especially in one life. And what can I say about this game? It's alright. It can be a tad hard in some spots. There is some challenge to this game. It's not the easiest thing in the world. But I like the way the game goes. There's no plot really tying everything together. It's just 7 different adventures with 7 different characters across 7 different stages. It's like sitting down and watching Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon if you were a kid in the 90s, or watching them on Cartoon Network if you were watching Cartoon Network in the 2000s, like after 1999. Or watching Looney Tunes on Boomerang, or whatever the heck you watch it these days. I'm guessing it's either going to be on YouTube or DVD these days. I kind of like that. You don't have one character stealing the spotlight. You get to play as a varied group of Looney Tunes. And you're doing something different each stage. So that game's got that going for it. You don't have one protagonist, one antagonist, and one plot. You have, I guess, 7 different characters, 7 different, well, not just 7, but a lot of different villains in the forms of the bosses and mini-bosses. And you have 7 different plots, one for each playable character. So, now that I got that out of me, got that out of my system, I might as well go ahead and give this game a mini review. The graphics, I like them. You can tell what stuff looks like. Sunsoft took creative liberties as far as the enemy design as far as that's involved, as far as that goes. I swear the guy throwing the rock looks like something out of a different Sunsoft game. Plus, you have weird-looking skeletons that try to slash at you with swords. That's a thing. And, of course, you have those weird bird things that act as platforms in Daffy Duck stage. And that tadpole. That looks very much like something out of Euphoria. Another Sunsoft game. So it's nice to see that while we can easily identify the Looney Tunes characters in this game, there are some enemies that look like they came straight out of other Sunsoft games, and that's pretty interesting too, even if it might be a bit disjointed for some. Also, you can always tell where you are too. You can tell whether you're underwater or in the city or in a pyramid or even in the sky. Plus, all the Looney Tunes characters are readily identifiable for the most part. Sound and music. If you've played anything on NES or Game Boy from Sunsoft, you should pretty much know what to expect. Music's pretty good. And some of the sound in this game, pretty good too. The controls. While most of it is of the platforming variety and most characters control most of the same, You do have the horizontal shoot 'em up mode with Porky Pig, and you also have the ability to just tear through everything with Taz. No matter who you're playing as, the controls are pretty tight. I did not have a problem with them. They're as good as they can be for a game like this. And replay value. Once you get through this game, there's not really going to be much of a reason for you to come back. Though you probably could play it if you were on a Game Boy binge or something. Just remember that there's a bit of a challenge to this game, so you might have something come up and kick your butt a little more than you thought it would should you play this game after some time away from it. All in all, this is an alright licensed game. Sunsoft knew what they were doing with the Looney Tunes license. Especially when it was 8-bit. I just now remembered Daffy Duck the Marvin missions, which was actually okay, and Roadrunner Death Valley Rally, which I'm not touching with the 10-foot pole. Tasmania was alright. Tasmania for Super NES was alright. But the 8-bit stuff, it's divine. There's some challenge and there's some good stuff about those games as well. And it actually feels like they actually took care and actually did the games themselves, as opposed to the 16-bit games where they had a third-party developer like ICOM Simulations, the same people who brought us Deja Vu and what was it? Shadowgate, making the games, and they were kind of meh. But the NES and Game Boy games, they're alright for the most part. This one was especially alright. I recommend putting this in your Game Boy collection if you can find it. And at this point, I'm just going to be rambling, so this is where I say adieu. This has been Let's Play Looney Tunes for the Game Boy. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. Hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.